So we're going to be talking about the Best Picture frontrunner, the one that won Best Film at the Golden Globes. We're going to be talking about The Brutalist. It's Brady Corbet's latest feature, well known for his film Vox Lux and also The Childhood of a Leader. Now, Jack, what do you think of this film?
So the Brutalist is a film that you don't really will love on first watch or
Right.
first the second you leave the theater. It's one that you kind of need to let marinate in your mind. I was like 4.5, but
Mm.
now I think I put it in my top 10 because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think the film is a perfect movie.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. I was kind of like torn between that 4.5, 5 spot. But I think about it now, I think it's sort of my favorite of the year. And I rewatched The Real Pain the other day. I think if I rewatch that, I think it could be pushing The Brutalist really. But we're not here to talk about um A Real Pain. But this The Brutalist had a budget of 9.6 million, and it's 200 minutes long without the intermission. So it's 3 hours and 20 minutes, pretty much 3 hours 35 with the intermission. And for that budget, 9.5 million, that is just incredible what they managed to pull off. It's a very ambitious project from Brady Corbet. It made $26 million.
Brady Corbet is an ambitious director. Like
Oh
Vox
yeah,
Lux isn't really a film made easily.
yeah. I haven't seen Vox
So
Lux. I want to. I want to see Childhood of a Leader as well. But yeah, it made 26 million at the box office. It's not even done playing in cinemas. It's only been playing at select theaters really. So yeah. Now to we sort of explain to anyone watching that hasn't maybe watched the film what it's all about. So do you want to sort of give a brief sort of summary of what happens without any spoilers, of course?
So basically, The Brutalist is about a Hungarian Jew architect, Laszlo Toth, who escapes the camps in Nazi Germany and then goes to America, Philadelphia, to rebuild his life, but realizes America isn't that great. And along the way, he meets two characters, Harrison Lee Van Buren and then Barry Lee Van Buren,
Yeah.
played by both Guy Pearce and one.
Yeah.
And then that's kind of like the simplest explanation
Yeah.
in most of hands. Yeah, that's the main like idea.
Yeah, so it pushes a lot of themes about the American dream and what it sort of means to be an immigrant and the immigrant experience in America at the time. And it's fantastic, really what they managed to do on that budget. It's produced by A24. A24 obviously well known now in the last 10 years have done like incredible stuff. They won Best Picture with Moonlight. That was their first film where they distributed and produced it. They've done loads, to be honest. Now, recently, after the Golden Globes, there was a bit of controversy. I think you can see where I'm going with this, with surrounding its AI usage. And I just want to ask you, do you think that? So, just to give some context, it was used in one scene when he's reading a letter, and this is when he was speaking Hungarian. Obviously, Adrien Brody and Felicity Jones, they don't speak Hungarian. I mean, Adrien Brody's family is Hungarians. His grandparents and his parents fled Hungary during the revolution in 1956. When he came to America, so he always grew up knowing like a few. And he sort of said that it was very personal to him because he sort of based Laszlo off his grandfather. Anyway, I'm sort of sidetracking there, but they used it. They don't speak Hungarian, is what I'm saying, like fluently. So they used it in one way, in one scene when he's reading out a letter. I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Well, they also use it at the end.
Yeah, when he's speaking it, just to perfect his accent, and I just wanted to see what you thought of it because I think that a lot of people are reading the headlines here, saying that Best Picture frontrunner is sparking all this controversy. I just wanted to see what you sort of thought about this.
You also forgot the epilogue who says AI, so
Did it?
without spoiling, the drawings they show, the
Oh right.
sketches of
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
what happened was they used the AI art, but then they
Right.
redraw
Oh
web
yeah,
humans.
yeah, yeah.
Well,
So
the AI, you know,
yeah,
and I think it,
I
but what
think
also means
yeah,
I don't want to get into trouble, but yeah, no,
I think
I
yeah, sorry.
I was in it. Is it?
Yeah, I think that the fact it was used in one scene, well, if you like, I don't think it necessarily. I think other films have used AI. I mean, June Part 2 used it, but I think people are sort of reading the headlines
I've
here.
read stuff.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Civil War did last year. That was also A24. So I think that films are. I'm against using AI for productions where they could have real people doing it. But I think if
Yeah,
you're perfecting someone's accent in one scene, and it was based off a model that they did of the editor of the film, who is Hungarian, so I think in that way it kind of, makes it less bad. And yeah, just your
yeah.
so awards. This film, The Brutalist, is nominated for 10 Oscars. So it's
Oh,
nominated for Best Actor. Adrian Brody's nominated. Guy Pearce is nominated for Supporting Actor. Felicity Jones is nominated for Supporting Actress. Cinematography, Lol Crawley, who also worked with Brady Corbet on The Childhood of Leader and Vox Lux. Brady Corbet for Best Director. Editing, score, which I've just got to say, Daniel Blumberg, he's done an incredible score there. It's, fantastic. I'm still listening to it now. Production design and original screenplay. Those are what's nominated for. Um, so let's talk awards. How many of those do you think it should be winning?
should be or what I think will win. Like
What would you want to win?
I need to think. Definitely best supporting actress for Felicity
Right.
Jones. Best actor and best supporting actor. It's more like they wouldn't be my first pick, but I wouldn't mind them winning.
Yeah.
Like I would prefer DeVito and Kieran Culkin to
Mm,
win
mm,
their categories.
yeah.
But if Guy Pearce wins, which I don't think he's gonna win,
Mm,
just because Kieran Culkin has the Oscar campaign going for him.
mm,
But if Adrian wins, which I actually think he will win, I won't be
yeah.
complaining.
I think for
Um,
me, best actor is torn. Like, I think if we're talking about what's going to win it, I think it's torn between Timothy Chalamet and Adrian Brody. Um, I think for me personally, I think that Timothy Chalamet will win the actor. I think just the way he's had all these award campaigns going on, I think he genuinely just will win it. But I want Coleman Domingo to win it. Just I think it would be nice for Coleman to win it.
one best score. I won either the Brutalist to win best score or the Substance because the
Right.
Substance had an amazing score.
Yeah, no, they both had fantastic scores. Um, and so sort of going in from this actor, how good do you think Adrian Brody was in this film?
It, I thought he was amazing,
Mm.
but I would have like out of the four, Adrian Brody, Felicity Jones, Guy Pearce, and Joe Alwyn. I would say he's maybe the weakest. Tied
Yeah,
between him and Joe. Him and Joe Alwyn are like kind of the same level,
I
but
want
I
to
prefer.
combat you there. Sorry. I think that Joe Alwyn is genuinely probably better than Adrian Brody. Sort of thinking about this now, I do think he's better, and I think he's so underappreciated in this. And this is not to say that anyone was bad. Mm. Um.
He was on shit it in
Oh yeah.
every review.
Oh yeah. No. Nobody I see really talks about him being great, and he was. I think the reason why Guy Pearce got nominated for the Oscar over him was more because I think he was Harrison Lee Van Buren was more there for the story, and I think you wouldn't have it without him. I think his character was more complex, which I think you put for the um. I think that's what you
Yeah.
put for the
There's nothing over there in the story. Like he's the antagonist,
yeah,
so I think
yeah,
you know
yeah,
nominate him over Joe Alwyn, who's a very small part of that movie.
yeah. I agree. I agree. So uh, yeah. Do we have anything else to say?
Uh, Leslie Jones, I think, carries the second half of this entire
Yeah,
film.
yeah. I agree.
Like her, like anchor in a way.
Mm,
For the best way I could describe it is like she just carries the
yeah.
entire. Like, well, I think the first half's more Adrian Brody's,
Mm,
you know,
yeah.
and it just passes off
Yeah.
to the audience.
My biggest critique with the film, I've got to say the ending. Like, I'm not talking about the epilogue. I'm talking about the ending. And Um,
Let's
I'm
see,
not going to
Jones.
spoil this because I want everyone to see it, but I think the ending where it's hard for me to explain. There's one line in it, and Joe Alwyn said this in an interview. He said that there was one line in the script which made it more clear as to what happened in the end, and they say that one line, um, and it just gets brushed over, and it could lead to something, and it could lead to the end of the film. It just doesn't. It just gets brushed over, and that's my biggest issue with it. Is that's genuinely the only problem I have with it. But genuinely, I think it's just such a like captivating. It pulls you in and it sort of brings you along for the ride of the 20 plus years that it takes you of these people's lives.
Yeah. What do you think of the epilogue? Because it's the most divisive, I think, part of that movie. Because some people really like it, and then some people think it's just lackluster. It's such an epic movie. It just kind of like
Um,
you know brings it down.
I think it was again. I think that parts of the movie were better than it. Um, I think everyone always talks about the second half being like bad. To
Yeah,
me,
I disagree.
no, I do as well. But I think that it's hard to explain. The first half and the second half are two different parts of the films. I think there's a reason there was an intermission, right? But I
Yeah,
think it's hard for me to explain this. But I think that, yeah, I think that the first half was very slow
yeah,
and sort of pacing it, and I think the second half was sort of we've got to this part now we sort of want to like speed it up and sort of focus on the relationships between characters in the second half, whereas the first half was very, I think, architectural based, and I think that's why sort of Felicity Jones carries that second half of the film because I think her character's more prominent, and I think she just, um, it's more about the relationships between characters and the narratives and the
like
complexities.
Laszlo and Harrison.
Yeah.
That relationship's more fleshed out.
Hmm. Yeah. So
Um,
yeah, I just want to talk about the
yeah,
cinematography here. It was shot on VistaVision, and this is what I heard. This is what I found out from researching. It's the first American film to be shot on VistaVision since 1961. And
I was actually
so,
just say if you was the last film to use VistaVision.
I don't know what the last one was, but I know it was 1961. So, just for anyone that doesn't know, VistaVision is a format where, so general film stock, it's shot vertically, whereas VistaVision is horizontal.
I usually say it later.
Yeah, so the film was put onto a print of 17mm. I would love to see it in 17mm. I think it would have looked great, but sadly I didn't get to see it. I was going to go and see it in 17mm, but that just never really worked out.
Speaking of 70mm, so the whole part one and part two are shot on 70mm,
Mm-hmm.
but the epilogue it's digital,
Oh,
and the score,
yeah.
like epilogue Venice, the track is like digital, and it's
Mm-hmm.
like so out of place.
Yeah.
That's what
I
I
think it's
just the
because I think it's because the epilogue set in 1980 when it sort of the reason they used VistaVision was because it was sort of at that time period. So I think that you're trying to show it after all these years and after all these projects that he's done. I think that's sort of why they sort of went digital on it. That's just my thoughts. So do you have any?
just like the time of the
Mm,
scene.
yeah, do you have any
I agree.
final? Do you have any final sort of points you want to bring up about the film? I think everyone should go and see this. By the way, it's up for best. It's up for 10 Oscars, and it won a lot at the Golden Globe. So, any final thoughts?
I think the score is maybe one of my favorite scores of all time. Like
I agree.
my favorite scores, like Queer, Challengers, The Substance, and The Brutalist. Not in any order,
Yeah,
but I think 2024. Because I'm not a big fan of film scores. I like just using them to go to sleep or something. Like if I have
I
to or
I want to
study.
counter that. I think that film scores make or break a movie. And I think especially with horror, I think sound is a big factor in films. I think if you have bad sound design, like I'm not just talking about scores here, I'm just thinking if you have bad sound design in a movie, I think your movie won't be good. But I think if you
I,
have a bit of an okay movie, but your score grips it, I think that'll take you a long way. That's just my opinion.
like another film which uses its sound design heavily was Long Legs,
Yeah.
which I thought made the film 10 times
Hmm.
scary.
Oh yeah, definitely. So that was us talking about the Brutalist and rambling on about other stuff. Make sure you go and see it. It's playing in theaters now, and it's one of our favorite films of all time. So yeah,